There's Purdy in the gun. 3 receivers left. Kittle, Jennings, Debo from in to out. Ayuk is right. Purdy back. Time. Steps around from DeMarcus Lawrence. Throws for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Boy, what a start. First drive for this offense.
They got CeeDee Lamb, the number 3 receiver inside. Now he goes in motion right, followed by Isaiah Oliver. 49ers are tipping man on 3rd and 2. Dak back. Plenty of time. Pumps. Now rolls left. Now he's going to get sacked by Fred Warner and Javon Kinlaw. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick against everybody but the Niners. He held the ball way too long. Here's an end around and a flea flicker. Back to Brock Purdy. Takes a shot down the sideline to George Kittle. Kittle all the way to the end zone. Touchdown!
What's good? On today's episode of the Wayne Breezie Show, we're going to recap the 49ers preseason opener. We're going to talk about some of the things, their grades, all that good stuff right here. Smash that like button. Stick around. We got Raiders up next week. Let's get to it, baby. What's going on, 49er faithful? That's right. It's the Wayne Breezie Show. It's Monday. It's the best time to kick off your week. Can we get some air horns? Shout out to all the members of the Breezy Bunch crew. This is for you. Shout out to all the subscribers to the channel. Speaking of that, make sure you guys go ahead and click on subscribe, all right? Subscribe to the channel. Make sure your alerts are set to all. You do not want to miss an episode right here on the Wayne Breezie channel, whether it's 49ers related, whether it's NFL related, fantasy football related. Make sure you stay locked in right here on the Wayne Breezie channel so you don't miss an episode. So turn those alerts on. If you're watching on the live stream, please go ahead. Feel free to take advantage of the comment section on the live chat, which is really cool if you're on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Prime, make sure you come on over to the YouTube channel so you guys can go ahead and check it out. Don't forget to check out our partners over by Residency. Go to www.residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezie and you can save on your total purchase. And don't forget, man, check out the Patreon because the film sessions are going to be back. Yes, even during preseason. So the film sessions will be back for those like the film of the explosive plays and things like that. It'll be exclusive for Patreon members only. So go ahead and make sure you guys take advantage of that. Again, welcome to the Wayne Breezie Show. Give yourselves a round of applause out there, man. What a weekend, right? Had Niners football, preseason football, NFL football. All we care about is the 49ers. Now, look, the Denver dominated the San Francisco 49ers. Like, dominated. Minus the first, play drive offensively and minus, the first defensive play callings. Denver just found a way to dominate the 49ers. And we're going to recap that. We're going to talk about that. Talk about some of the things the Niners could do to improve. I tell you what, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Every Monday, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Say it with me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we're going to talk about that and, kind of dive into it, and look, it's preseason football. I'll leave it at that. I'm not taking anything away from the Denver Broncos. The better prepared team won. I'll leave it at that. And they won in good fashion. The better prepared team won in good fashion. All right. And so it is what it is. Now, just a quick reminder of what the 49ers offseason is looking like. You got the I don't think anybody cares at this point. We want to win football games. But listen, August 28th, we got the rivalry uniform release is going to be official. So just keep that in your calendars. Go ahead and put it in your calendars right now. Type that joint in your calendars. The rivalry uniform, which we know we're going to be wearing the last game of the year against the Seattle Seahawks, that will be on August 20th. So that's coming up probably close to when the 49ers have to have their 53-man roster in. So this is going to be interesting. All right. Now, the 49ers did make a couple of roster moves, one right before the game where they signed running back Keyshawn Vaughn, who actually played in the preseason game, and they just signed running back, former 49er running back. Both of these guys were former 49er running backs. Now that I think about it, Jeff Wilson Jr. Remember last week I said don't be surprised if the Niners go and sign Jeff Wilson Jr. He did work out for the 49ers. They signed Amir Abdullah, who ended up getting injured in this game. We're going to talk about that. But the San Francisco 49ers decided to bring back two familiar faces, two guys to get them through the preseason that know the system. And that's, this is what you do. This is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting guys that can run the system, run it smoothly, not a lot of teaching going on, and things like that. So Jeff Wilson Jr. and Keyshawn Vaughn, welcome back to the San Francisco. I almost sound like Greg Papa, right? 49ers. Slew of injuries. Man, it's rough. It's rough for the Niners. I think there's about 19 injuries for the San Francisco 49ers. Some good news, some positive news. Kyle Shanahan talked about Jacob Cowing and Renardo Green, both hamstring injuries. Those guys are going to be tested this week, and hopefully they'll be ready to go this week against the Las Vegas Raiders. So, that's some good news. So the Niners are hoping to get a couple of guys back. Michael Williams, we know, has the hyperextended knee. Kyle kind of confirmed that. He's going to be out probably for about a week. Some of the new injuries, Amir Abdullah, running back, he got his ribs hurt. Looked like he twisted his leg backwards, and he was holding his wrist to the sideline when he got to the sideline after he fumbled the ball. But it's ribs, it's the ribs. And so who knows what the time we don't know how severe that's going to be. Maybe it's day to day. Not sure. Upton Stout, the phenom rookie, didn't play in the game. But he had a calf injury. So a lot of calf injuries on the Niners. Jawan Jennings, calf injury. There's no timetable on his injury. Now, Kyle did say that he had the same type of calf injury last year in training camp and didn't show up until the last week of training camp. So we'll see how that pans out. So hopefully we'll get him back as well. We know Jordan James has the broken finger, henceforth the signing of the running backs. Isaac Guerrero, the shoulder injury, probably won't be available for the preseason. Jordan Elliott, defensive tackle. Niners signed so many of those guys. He's going to be, probably back this week. Hopefully we don't know the severity of Evan Anderson's knee bruise, so we'll see how that pans out. Robert Bill Jr. ended up hurting his groin in this game. Sam Okuwanu, groin injury, didn't play. Kevin Givens, pec, he's probably going to be out for a long time. Tatum Bethune hurt his ankle, but he did return to the game. I thought Tatum Bethune was one of the best linebackers on the football field, dude. Chaz Surratt has an injury, not sure what that is. Fabian Monroe, the cornerback, free agent, probably going to get released, has an injury. Jair Brown, ankle. Richie Grant didn't play. He had a knee injury. And then Marquise Siegel, the rookie who played, to me, particularly very well, ended up getting a knee bruise in this game. And we don't really know the severity of these injuries. So as they rest and recoup and practice kicks off, hopefully the inflammation is going down on some of these bruises, a.k.a. contusions, and we'll see how that pans out for the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of injuries, a lot of players got dinged up in this particular game. So the Niners have a tough week of practices. They're going to be practicing this week. Their joint practice is scheduled for this upcoming Thursday, 8/14, with the Raiders. Okay, so they're going to be joint practicing with the Raiders. Now, for those that know Kyle Shanahan, he is expecting to have this joint practice with all those injuries. And I think he wants to see how well his guys are going to go up against that Raiders defense, how well his offensive line can withhold that Raiders defense, how well his defense can stop that Raiders offense. And so expect that to happen in the joint practice. Expect joint practice to be strenuous. This is or will be the second preseason game. meaning this is probably dress rehearsal time. So I'm thinking you're going to get your starters to play the ones that are healthy, and they're going to play a series or two, or maybe even three. And I'm hoping or curious to see who's going to do the play calling on the offensive side. We saw Clay Kubiak call the plays against the Denver Broncos. Will he get the nod to call the plays for the rest of the preseason? That was definitely up in the air. Kyle Shanahan spoke about that. I say let him rock out. Let him continue calling the plays for the remainder of the preseason. And hell, let him call plays in the offseason. Because when I go back and I look at that first drive, that first drive was pretty damn good. We had some luck. All right, I don't want people to be like, oh, yeah. No, we had some luck. Some luck was on our side. Went for it on that fourth down. Was able to get that, sustain that catch by the rookie Jordan Watkins. That was pretty damn good too. So look, we had some luck, but overall, I think the San Francisco 49ers offense just has to figure out how to get into some type of rhythm. So they're going to be joint practicing against the Raiders this upcoming Thursday, and then they play them on that Saturday. All right, so they play them that Saturday afternoon, I believe at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So they're going to get a chance to tee off against the Raiders. I do expect the some of the starters. I think this is the dress rehearsal game to where the starters are actually going to get some reps. So you're going to get Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, all the healthy 49ers should be out there. Now, what's good, everybody, man? Look, don't forget, smash that like button. Hope you like the new overlays and things like that. Follow, like, and share. Look, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, Patreon, YouTube, TikTok, the Wayne Breezie. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsors and partners over at Residency. They got t-shirts and stuff now. I'll be rocking one very soon so you guys can see what the t-shirts look like. I'll zoom out. You guys can check out the t-shirt and things like that. But if you want to save some money, use that promo code S to the F. Breezy. All right, use that promo code. Let's get to the recap. Woo! I said I wanted to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, you know what? I don't have this prepared, but moving forward, I'm going to spin the wheel. It's going to say good, bad, and ugly. We're going to spin the wheel. You know what? Wheel, let's do it right now. And that'll let us know what we're starting with, baby. Let's do it right now. I said the good. I said the bad. I said the ugly. All right? We're going to go good. We're going to go bad. We're going to go ugly. We're going to put them on the wheel. Okay, now I gotta get used to these new overlays, so y'all got to bear with me. I know y'all rocks with your boy, so just bear with me. I'm getting, I'm gonna get used to these overlays real quick. All right, so just like I said, just bear with your boy. All right, so share the screen. This is all new to me. I'm trying here, so let's see how it looks real quick. Look at me. Give me a round of applause. Y'all gonna give me my credit. I'm working here. We'll click the wheel. Let's see what we're gonna start off with. The good, the bad, the ugly. Let's start off with the bad. Well, all right. Can't clap for the bad. No, can't clap for the bad. Yeah. Listen, look, the Niners lost this game 30-9. I think that's pretty bad. And when you look at the San Francisco 49ers, it's like they started off decent, and as everybody settled in and you started bringing in your substitutions, you had some bad stuff. Now, I saw some missed coverages. I saw some blown coverages. I saw some miscommunication. I saw some poor missed tackles. Let's start with that being bad. I don't necessarily feel like the missed tackles were ugly. There were some, but let's start with the 9 missed tackles in this game. And I missed tackles, ladies and gents. I mean, they really strike a chord because I'm a fundamental sound person, and I know Robert Saleh is a fundamental sound coach. And when his players are making these kind of like mental errors, it kind of sucks. Now, our linebackers, our two linebackers, I will put out this caveat that these guys, the missed tackles, the 9 missed tackles, 5 of them came from our 2 rookies. Well, 6 of them came. 6 of them came from rookies. I'm expecting rookies to have some missed tackling. I'm going to give you my context behind these missed tackles. I'm not saying that they shouldn't miss tackle. They do have to play fundamentally sound. But Stone Blanton, I thought he played phenomenal against the run. Coverage probably struggled. Coverage, he was actually better. He was actually graded better in coverage. But those missed tackles, over pursuing plays, is just what it is. That, to me, that's what I saw watching the game. I haven't watched the film yet, but just watching the game, breaking down where I saw number 50 on the football field. And he played 42 snaps, so that's pretty good for him, giving him those reps out there. But the missed tackles, he had 3, so he led the team with missed tackles. Nick Martin, I think everybody was kind of like, I was kind of harsh on him on the Bleacher Report last night, so make sure you guys go ahead and check out me on the Bleacher Report app. Download the Bleacher Report app and then follow me, Wayne Breezie, on there. You could check out my 49ers content there as well. Nick Martin, though, was flying all over the football field. I think he was playing so fast that he was over pursuing. Now, part of his bad was his poor angle technique, but I think he was just his sideline speed is there. You give that guy more reps, it's going to be a wrap. Now, I think Stone Blanton, in my opinion, Stone Blanton had a better overall game. But I still think Nicholas Martin is going to be a problem once the game slows down. Again, Stone Blanton led in missed tackles. He also had a higher PFF grade overall. And I think he had a better overall game than Nick Martin. But there's a lot that I love about Nick Martin. I'm not throwing in the towel on him. I think those 2 missed tackles that he had, one was the coverage one where he was running the drag route and he just ran the wrong angle. Like, he played run first, so he bit on the run, so he was kind of like trailing. You can't trail, because when you trail, you're going to end up diving for a guy, and you dive, you're going to miss. That was the issue. Dallas Flowers, he had a missed tackle. Jacob Robinson, he had a missed tackle. Jalen Allen, you saw Jalen Allen's missed tackle. The quarterback got fast. I never seen that. I thought he had enough speed to get the quarterback. I think his issue, to me, his bad was just not setting the edge properly. Boom. You don't set the edge. You over pursue. Usually the quarterback's got some wheels. It's going to get around. Like, Jarrett Stidham just had his way. That was his missed tackle. Jason Pinnock had the missed tackle early in the game. I think a lot of people were like, oh, no. Come on. That, to me, that was a bad one. That was a bad missed tackle. But 9 missed tackles, I feel like, was part of the bad when it came to this football team. Overall, penalties, that's another bad. And you look at the penalties, you'll be like, dang, well, how many penalties did the Niners have in this game? They had enough. And to me, it's the timing of a lot of these penalties. There's 9 for 67 yards. Even though that's 2 less and 20 yards less than what the Denver Broncos had, didn't help the Niners score any points. I felt like the Niners penalties prevented them from scoring points. That's just what I saw. It's like they get down to the red zone. Bad red zone. Like, they just get there and they just fall flat. They can't figure it out. They get a penalty. There's nothing that they can do. And next thing you know, they get moved back, right? That's what I saw. 4 penalties on the offensive side. 5 penalties. Well, I don't want to say 5 penalties. Let me check my stats on the defensive side, because there might have been some on special teams. So I just want to make that clear. On the defensive side, the San Francisco 49ers had 2 penalties. So that's 4 and 2. All right. They finished with 9. The rest were on special teams. So 3 on special teams, 2 on the defense. Two defensive penalties? Hell, that's good. That might slide in my good. You had the penalty on Dallas Flowers, and you had the penalty on Bruce Hector. Flowers, Hector. Those are your penalties on the defensive side. So they got to clean those up. Again, that's coaching. It's got to help clean up these penalties. You know what I'm saying? So got to be better. Because the timing of those penalties is crucial to the San Francisco 49ers, especially when they get into a red zone situation. All right, a red zone situation. And so for my bad categories, I'm probably going to always focus on the mistakes. I thought the penalties were bad. It's a high number of penalties. We're not going to always talk. Hopefully every week we're not just talking about penalties. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that's what we're doing. I'm hoping I'm hoping they clean up the penalties. I'm hoping they clean up the missed tackles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping they do. I'm not expecting them to have that many, but they got to clean up the missed tackles. They got to clean up those penalties. And so to me, that was pretty much like the bad. Not much more. You know, there was some ugly. So there's going to be some ugly. We'll talk about the ugly. But penalties and missed tackles, bad. Not being able to convert in the red zone, bad. And you get to the red zone and you don't convert and you get knocked out of field goal range. I mean, who would have ever thought that Jake Moody would have played a game and had not one field goal attempt? Not one? We can't even cut Jake Moody because he didn't even kick. His extra point was down the middle. We didn't even kick. He couldn't kick. It's blowing my mind, ladies and gents. It's blowing my mind. So back with the good, bad, and ugly. The San Francisco 49ers. That's your bad. All right, that's your bad. Let's spin the wheel again so we can see where we're gonna be next. We're gonna talk about ugly. We're gonna talk about good. All right, let's get to the good. All right, the good is there. The good is there. There was some good. There's a lot of good. I saw some good. All right, saw some good. So for the good, the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion, the first drive, just to recap, can I recap the first drive? The first drive was to me pretty damn good. I thought the Niners' first drive was decent. The way that they were able to drive the ball down the football field was really good. Again, had a little bit of help. Okay, let's keep it a buck. But sometimes it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So you get to that first quarter, and I want to read or reiterate the play calls that we saw so we know how they were able to get the points. So the Niners put up the first offensive points in the game. I thought that was good. Mac Jones looked good. 4 for 7 for Mac Jones, 74 yards. I thought he looked good. He did have an interception. We'll talk about that with ugly. But Mac Jones looked like he could run Kyle Shanahan / Clay Kubiak's offense, period. Looked real good. First play of the game was a pass for 8 yards to DeMarcus Robinson. First play, 8-yard pass to DeMarcus Robinson. I should have talked about this with the bad. I thought the offensive line just really wasn't really engaging enough in the run blocking game. Then that next play, negative 3-yard rush for Patrick Taylor. Throwing was there. The next play, all right, 3rd and 5. You get the 50-yard explosive play down the football field. And if you guys follow me and subscribe to my Patreon, I break down these big explosive plays, passes over 20 yards in the air, 25 yards in the air, runs over 10 yards. And we go through these so we can see how they're set up. We go over the explosive plays offensively and defensively if they give them up. So it's pretty cool. Check me out on the Patreon. But again, pass. So here's the sequence. Pass, rush, pass, rush, pass, rush, rush, rush. That was the sequence. And we rushed for a 5-yard touchdown in the red zone. So that was dope. Goal line, 5-yard touchdown. Patrick Taylor cut the ball to the left. Loved the blocking. Run blocking was good. Outside zone, like that's what we want. We want the outside zone to be working, right? That fourth down, we had the quarterback sneak, or I guess that's what you want to call it, when Mac Jones got the first down at the 7-yard line, and then they set him up for that rush. First points, again, that's good. I thought the offense gelled. They played pretty well. Offensive line protected, in my opinion, pretty well. Felt like a couple of those sacks. If we want to talk about that, I don't know if I put that in the ugly or the bad, but if you want to talk about some of those sacks, I gotta check the film because I know Spencer Burford gave up one. I felt like Mac Jones, I don't know, that was a little weird, the sacks. But overall, I think that the offense, the starting unit that came out there on the football field, Jordan Watkins, we saw some good from Patrick Taylor Jr., Corey Kiner. I thought that was really good from the San Francisco 49ers. You know, Jake Tonjes later on in the game, I thought he's kind of solidifying himself as that tight end 3 spot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, Luke is tight end 2, tight end 3. There was no Ross Dwelly, so I don't know if they're going to keep 3 tight ends. They could keep 4 tight ends. What do you think? Do you think the 49ers should keep 3 or 4 tight ends? That's something to think about. 3 tight end sets for sure. 13 personnel will be on fire. But at the end of the day, especially around the goal line, I like what I saw from Jake Tonjes. He did miss a block, though. I saw a block he missed. I was like, bro, you got to get that block. But he did catch his 2 targets. So I feel like he's rising up. So some good stuff from Jake Tonjes out there as well. And just defensively, that first unit that was out there, Robert Saleh had those guys gassed up. Best player in the football field was Chase Lucas. Get that man a round of applause. Number 26. Number 26 was out there balling as if his job was on the line. Do you hear me? As if his job was on the line. I loved everything we saw from number 26. I mean, his pass coverage was good. His run defense was good. He was in just about on every play. Defensively, if you want to go, you know, just based off of grading defensively, he didn't have the highest defensive grade. Here are the top 10 defensive. You know what? We're going to go to grades. We're going to get grades. We're just recapping the game. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. My apologies, faithful. My apologies, Breezy Bunch. My bad. Trey Brown was good, 22 snaps, but I loved the 59 snaps, and he played in the slot. Now, here's what's intriguing. This is where Upton Stout was supposed to play. Upton Stout had a calf injury, so he didn't play in this game. How do you not keep Chase Lucas on this roster? Practice squad guy last year, definitely trending upward. Love Upton Stout. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. The 2 slot cornerbacks yesterday, you had Chase Lucas and you had Jacob Robinson, the undrafted kid. Chase Lucas was balling. He was balling. He had 3 pressures on the day. He had 3 quarterback hurries around the line of scrimmage, 8 tackles. Man, this kid was balling, in my opinion. All 8 tackles, none assisted. All 8 tackles for this young fellow. 6 run stops. Come on, man. He was targeted 8 times. He did give up 6 receptions, but I felt like he was balling. I truly did. Did he have any PBUs? That's always good to look at. Felt like he had a couple of PBUs. Him, Darrell Luter Jr. as well. Yes, he did. There was 3 total PBUs in this game. He had one of them. I thought Chase Lucas was balling. Let me know what you think. Was Chase Lucas the defensive player of this game? Just curious to know. Now, some other guys that are trending upward that I thought play good on the defensive side. You're not going to get these phenomenal see, defensive linemen is weird because if they don't get sacks, you don't necessarily equate them to playing good. I don't care what anybody says about CJ West. I know his grades weren't great, but this dude was beating double teams, getting into the backfield, and being the first to be disruptive in the run game. Isn't that what we drafted him for? We know he plays violent. We know he plays with a lot of power. But didn't we draft these big defensive tackles to help the 49ers, like, negate these teams not run on them? We need to take away the run. I think that's most important. I felt like he played really well around that line of scrimmage, especially being double teamed. I saw him slip the double teams at least 2 times in this game. He's not going to get graded for it. He's not going to get graded high for it. But that's what I saw out there on the football field. So I give a nod. I think C.J. West is trending up. I truly do. Any other players defensively that I felt like played good? Tatum Bethune played good as the linebacker. I think Tatum Bethune is going to be the backup Mike linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know. We got a couple more weeks of practice, a couple more preseason games. I still want to see what Curtis Robinson can do because I felt like Curtis Robinson was going to be that backup Mike. Jalen Graham, if he had gotten that interception, maybe. But losing 30-9 and the defense giving up 30 points, you got to give credit to the defense for putting up 2 points. Defense got a safety, so that's part of the good. You got to give that. You got to give credit to the defense for getting 2 points in this game. Because the Niners defense, they forced, it's tough. It's tough for them to score. And I like what I saw, but I liked what I saw early from the San Francisco 49ers defense. I did. I truly did. Later on in the game, though, defense started getting worn out. You started playing some of these other players that just aren't too familiar with certain things. You got guys over pursuing. You got guys missing tackles. Yeah. It is what it is. That's just what it was. Defense can be better. And I think going into this week, they're going to be getting some guys back. So we'll see how that's going to pan out. They're going to be getting some guys. They're going to be getting some dogs back. I'm not too harsh on this team because a lot of players were playing at the last second because of injuries, blah, 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 blah. But they stepped up, and I'll give them credit for that. That is. But they got to be better. They gave up 30 points to a team in a preseason game. That's unacceptable. If anything, if we lost this game, I wanted it to have been close, but it's not on me or what I want. Really wanted us to win, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the ugly because we got to get to the ugly. Let's start with number one, ugly, turnovers. Turnovers will always be ugly to me. Now, every turnover has context, but turnovers will always be ugly to me. The Niners had 4 turnovers in this game. 4 turnovers in this game. 3 interceptions and 1 fumble. And the defense did force a couple turnovers too. But the Niners turned the ball over 4 times. Hence the lopsided score. We're not even talking about that, but 30-9. I got 2 ugly things. Number 1 are the turnovers. The interception. The Jordan Watkins not being on the same page with Mac Jones. That was interception 1. And then you get the interception from Carter Bradley, who just didn't look good out there on the football field at all. He looked lost like a deer in headlights, in my opinion. And then Tanner Mordecai, the newly re-signed quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, tried to come in and give them a spark, and he was doing so, and then overplays and then shoots an interception off. Just ugly. Those interceptions to me were ugly. The context behind the interception between Mac Jones and rookie wide receiver Jordan Watkins, you can tell they just weren't on the same page. And that's why Kyle Shanahan said, yeah, he played good, but, he still got a long way to go, period. And he does. He got to get on the same page. And shout out to Mac Jones for not throwing his wide receiver under the bus. I felt like he said he could have, threw a better ball or something like that in his presser. But at the end of the day, that's going to get fixed. The other interceptions were just terrible. Those were ugly. So I feel like, Mac Jones' interception was bad, but Bradley and Mordecai's interceptions were ugly. Ugly. One more ugly play I wanted to discuss before we kind of kick the gear off into some grades and stuff like that. I didn't like the blown coverage in the end zone to a tight end. That you want to make me mad? That play right there really made me mad. I'm gonna try to see if I can kind of like zone in on that play and see if I can get it, because he was wide open. Lucas Crow. And I could see right away the Niners are playing. There's no motion. And the Niners are playing some type of zone. And the defense in the end zone. And who it can't be a linebacker. That's a safety. He just went the wrong way. Like, why are there 3 guys covering 1 guy? Either one of these dudes blew it. If it's a tight end, I'm automatically looking at my safeties. What was your assignment, safety? Like, what were you supposed to be doing? That was ugly. They gave up a wide open touchdown to a third-string tight end who was just standing in the end zone. The pass rush wasn't there. It didn't get home. And bada boom, bada bing, bing. It's a touchdown. Niners got to clean stuff up. Like, they got to clean that stuff up. They can't continue to have ugly stuff. And I seen that last year. And I seen that without Robert Saleh. I saw that with Nick Sorensen. And I'm not blaming Robert Saleh for this. I'm just saying he's got to get these younger players that aren't used to seeing certain things. He's got to get them hit real quick. These players, that was poorly. Remember I said on the pregame, I said the Niners have to communicate. Like, the defense has to communicate. And that right there was a miscommunication. And because of the miscommunication, somebody didn't tap somebody to tell somebody to take that somebody if that somebody goes out in a fade route to the end zone or corner route to the end zone, and there you get the touchdown. And I don't care if we were already losing at that point. We didn't want to lose by 21 points. The Niners had some ugly plays, and they were expected. The good news is this, though. The game didn't count. So that's the good news. The good news is the game didn't count. All right? So for those that are a little bit worried about it, that's the good news. The game didn't count. This is definitely a game where they're evaluating players, and some of these players aren't going to make the team. All right, let's start with these grades versus the Broncos. Now, top 10 PFF grades for the versus the Denver Broncos. I'll start with the defensive side. You had cornerback Trey Brown. He played 22 snaps on the left corner side. He had a 93.5 grade with a 93.4 coverage grade. This is interesting. And it's interesting because if he continues to play this well on the outside, with Deommodore Lenoir and Renardo Green returning back from injury, Trey Brown may just be cornerback 2 or 3 on the outside. On the outside. And if he continues to have, if Renardo continues to miss out, Lenoir, Brown are your starting outside corners. So I just want to put that out there. Lenoir and Brown will be your outside corners, and Brown is earning that spot, right? And so do you remove him or and ease Green back into it, or do you put, if Green passes his test, physical test, do you put Green right back in at that 2 spot to where he can perhaps, re-aggravate that hamstring injury? A lot of stuff to think about. Luke Gifford, who I think is going to be linebacker 2, he played well. 89.8. You know what I'm saying? 89.8 real good grade. 89.8, real good grade. Jalen Mahoney, undrafted kid last year, free safety, played 44 snaps, 87.7. 87.7. Chase Lucas finished with a 79.4. D. Winters 74.2. Those are your top 5 defensive grades. Bradley Anae, Bryce Huff, Darrell Luter Jr., Derek Canteen, Tatum Bethune, all in the top 10 with 69s to 60 grades, all right? Those are your top 10 defensive grades. Offensively, not as good. Not as good. Your top 5 offensive grades. Connor Colby, I love the kid, played the right guard. Connor Colby and Drew Moss both played right guard in this game, and they have the top 2 offensive grades. They truly did. Top 2 offensive grades. They truly did. 77.8, 77.3. Your right guard spot. DeMarcus Robinson, 76.5, number 3. Jake Tonjes, 67.3, number 4. Corey Kiner, one of my favorite players in this game, 65.9. Jordan Watkins, number 6, 63.5. Matt Hennessy, center, 59.7. Mac Jones, 8, 58.9. Braden Willis, I don't think he makes his team, 58.2. And Spencer Burford finished with a 58.1. So those are your top 10 offensive and defensive grades. Some of the bright spots that I saw, I love the return that we got from Junior Bergen in this game. I think that was something really to hold your head. I like the way he redirected and was able to get some really good positive yards on special teams. That's a good sign for the San Francisco 49ers. That's a good sign for the San Francisco 49ers. So keep your eyes open. Let's see what he does against the Raiders in practice this week as well as in the game. It's going to be a lot to take in with this new practices and stuff like that. We got to get these players. They got to find a way to remain healthy. I do want to check one thing as far as the pass protection in this game, because the Niners didn't give up any sacks. None of the sacks were on the offensive line, which is funny because when I was watching the game, I was like, oh no, they blitzing. And so I'm like, well, I don't think the sack, even though we saw Mac Jones go down twice, Carter Bradley didn't go down once, and Tanner Mordecai did once, I think. Although we saw the sacks, I think they were either on the quarterback or coverage or whatever. These guys were blitzing, and at least PFF didn't grade an offensive lineman with the sack. So I just wanted to clear that up. I know we saw, we saw some guys look like they got beat in the pass pro game. And it is what it is. But the highest pass blocking person in this game was offensive lineman Drew Moss. Ben Barch was 2. And those guys finished with both 80 grades. Connor Colby was 3. I don't know why people are sleeping on Connor Colby. I really think that 7th round pick is going to be the steal of the draft. I know he's an offensive lineman, so it's hard to say that an offensive lineman is the steal of the draft, but I think he got whatever. We overlooked 100,000 times, in my opinion. But as far as pass blocking, that's what you got. I do like that Patrick Taylor had a 74.1 and Amir Abdullah had a 69.4. So at least the running backs were pretty much pass protecting as well. And so that's what you got. So pass blocking was there. Offensive line, none of these guys are the starters. That's the caveat. And that's a good sign, because how many of these guys are looking to make this roster? Drew Moss continues to play. Drew Moss only played 16 pass blocking snaps in this game. The rest were run blocking. So that's going to be interesting to see, if Drew Moss continues to stand out in camp. And if he can continue to stand out in camp, you're going to get more upside. Guys, this is the recap of the game. It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we got the joint practice this week. And we'll be previewing the game on Fridays for the Wayne Breezie Show. So we'll be previewing the game. Don't forget, again, joint practice this week against the Raiders. That's where you're going to see our starters really ramp up. Kyle Shanahan's going to go hard body. I do believe that the Raiders and the 49ers. I do believe this is going to be the dress rehearsal game. The final preseason game is going to be for some of these players to see if they have what it takes to make it in the NFL on the San Francisco 49ers, as well as any of the other teams if they don't make it to the 53-man roster. I'm your host, Wayne Breezie. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to leave some comments in the comment section if this is your first time watching the channel, first time watching this show, okay? First time. Make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. Subscribers all are welcomed, all right? If you enter the chat, just remain faithful, and it's all good. Love you guys. Till the next time, keep it faithful to the Bay. Peace. What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.